is just like solid.
Yes, what remains is basically solid.
Fair enough.
So there's
Oof.
some blackness over to the right, and that's like another building.
Right. I can explain the thing with inability. I can just say I'm afraid of heights, so it's harder for me to keep balance.
You could put it like that. I mean, the idea
Yeah.
is that you're way too fast, like you don't take your time, but that's also a nice way to put it.
Yes.
Do it the way you
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, let's try to cross one by one because I don't trust this.
Okay.
Do you want to
Is
go
the
first?
what does the ground ahead look like?
So it's ice. It is pretty clear ice. It's like a light blue tinge, but it's mostly clear. You can see through. Um, this particular section has a nice flat top. It's odd, but there's like some snow, so it seems stable enough that you could easily walk across without too much risk. It eventually sort of spans out and it heeds to much of the building opposite.
Hmm. All right. It's ice. So what's your footing? Mm, mm, mm. All right. Uh, what's the thing next to me?
You're standing next to like a whole bunch of debris that's sort of filling up the room.
Ah.
The floor above seems like it has collapsed, as well as the floor above that one.
Hmm. All right. Peeking through the door.
What is that in the corner? Is that the like little
That's
ladder?
that's a staircase going up, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But it's going up to
Oh,
a floor that has collapsed, so.
yes. Fair enough.
All right. Well, there's. Oh.
You see a collapsed wall leading into another collapsed wall with the ice sort of clinging to the floor below. You could sort of jump and skip your way across, if need be.
Whoop.
There's a lot of snow, and you're hearing a faint, distant skittering noise.
Uh-oh.
Can I try to localize that?
I nailed that jump.
To the best of your knowledge, it's coming from the east, and maybe coming from the next building over. You could
Alright.
roll me a difficulty 6 if you want to perceive it more accurately.
Is that
Yeah.
an intellect check?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to use effort for this because difficulty 6 is going to be like crazy. But, well, I mean, it should have been 5, but I don't succeed.
You are unable to more closely pinpoint where it's coming from.
Well, there's something moving to the east. Hmm. Huh.
I think over here is the only way we can jump across because everything else is like, eh. Or climb over that debris.
Hmm.
Okay, then. Roll me
Okay,
a...
I'll need to make 2 jumps actually here. Maybe even 3 to shimmy. So that will be inadvisable. I'd rather climb over the
Yeah.
debris.
You can climb over the debris, or you can
Yes.
try to make a jump.
Well, there will be 3 jumps actually, because there are walls everywhere. So there would be jump here, there would be jump here. Where is it? And there would be jump over here, I think. But it's like,
I didn't see
Or
that
yes.
third one, but you could probably sidle amongst the last part.
That's
maybe just kind of cling to the wall and climb over. But let's try to get over the debris.
Okay.
Yeah.
Difficulty 2 climb check.
Okay. Yes, barely, but I make it.
Okay. Well, I'm training that, so.
If those bridges collapse, we can. Wow, Mr. Acrobat.
But you also rolled a 20 just a bit earlier, so... Rolling
Yes.
those 20s out early.
That's okay. We got them out of the way so we don't kick the enemy's ass too much.
Yeah, I just kind of go over it without really disturbing any of the rock rubble or whatever is there.
If the ice
So-
bridges collapse, we can just use the grip claw as well. I
So
guess.
you're now standing in front of a window, and you can peek inside, and you see more debris, a ruined room. It's very dark inside.
Yeah. In through the window. Is the window broken or?
The window is like it's open on a crack, and you could easily just push it up and slide it up.
Get in.
Maybe it was like a fire exit or something, so it opens both ways.
Hmm. More debris.
It's dark. Do we have any sources of light in our...
You have a glow globe, so...
Yes. Oh, that too. The one that controls gravity?
No, he just has like a glow globe. This is like a glow stick.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
You notice
Well,
that the debris in this room goes all the way to the ceiling, so you have to try and dig your way out a bit.
Fair enough.
You also notice that this room seems to contain several large closets.
Oh. Are the closets on this side of the room?
They're on this side of the room. You can't see beyond the debris because it's like all the way to the ceiling.
Well, I'll rummage through the closet then.
You open up the closet, and inside you see things like jackets and coats. Like they're all made for heavy winter wear as well. Weather.
All right.
You can, if you so desire, scavenge 3 sets of warm clothing from it.
Do you have all clothing, Momo?
Well, I do have my trench coat, but I would love to have something on top of that.
Well, there's
gloves and like thick pants and boots.
this closet
Yes,
is
please.
full of nice and warm clothing.
Yes, at the very least, I would like to grab some boots with spikes in them so I don't slide off.
Okay, you have some boots with cleats.
Thank you.
This will give you a bonus when walking on snowy or rocky terrain.
I also have sturdy boots.
Or icy, actually. Indeed.
Oh, wait. I still need to roll because I'm, yeah. What's the difficulty for this one? 2 or 3? I forget.
Well, you have to dig it out first. So you're going to have to, you have to expend a might effort if you want to dig it out. Or you can collaborate and share the burden, taking only 1 might point each.
Sure.
Let's do
I'll
that.
help with the digging.
So you manage to, you push, and all the rocks fall out the other side and start to fall into a large chasm.
Well, whatever is here, it knows we're here.
The skittering is a bit louder now.
Yes.
Okay. Is it like a multi-legged skittering?
It's got a certain mechanical clang to it.
Insect robots. Why did it have to be the insect robots? Well, considering I have a penalty, let me try that.
What did you roll? Let's see. Okay, that's actually good enough to make it across you. You jump, leap, and sidle your way across. Rogo has no problems of the sorts because he's an experienced survivalist. He's rugged.
Yep.
Is there an opening here? Yeah.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
that doesn't look entirely friendly.
Roll me a speed stealth check.
Speed stuff. Okay, let me go back.
So,
What would be the difficulty?
Let's say 5.
5. Okay, spend effort because of my 2 edge and speed. I only spend 1 point, so click.
Yeah, I'll also spend.
I just dive into the room.
Oh yeah.
Roger just casually walks in.
So at the opposite end of the room, you saw a supply closet of sorts next to a first aid box.
Mhm.
And you saw a strange spider-like creature skittering across. And then you hear some...
I still need the visibility updated for this one.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Yeah, there's a window on one side of the room.
So it's like a hospital?
Could be. There's some beds in this room, and like a big pile of debris that covers one of the beds.
Oh yeah. Can I look through the debris and see if there's anything useful or interesting in it?
Roll me a d20 for luck to see what you find.
Should I help him?
You can try.
Okay. R, 1d20. Oops.
Okay. So, I like how you roll things like that. You find some pillows, a mattress, the stuff you'd expect to find in a bed, as well as some steel bars and stuff. But you also find like a small first aid kit containing some painkillers, though you don't know if they're still in date, bandages, suturing needles inside a special bag so they're still sterile.
Hmm.
Alright, make it.
Well, at the very least, we can patch ourselves up.
Um,
But I wouldn't trust the painkillers because we don't know how long they have been here.
hmm.
I mean, best case scenario, they'll probably not do anything. Worst case scenario, they'll kill you.
Alright, so we found a first aid kit.
Yes.
Basically. Yes.
Is it possible for us to discern from the glimpses of the spider how powerful it is?
That would be a Numenera check since it is a mechanical device, or anything related to engineering, repairing, or something like mechanical knowledge.
Fair enough, we can both do that. Rogo, do you...
He's a
suspect we
specialist
can
in
take
Numeneras,
this
and
thing
you are
on?
trained in repair.
Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Let me try that. What
one,
would be the difficulty then?
kind of regretted thing. We had harvested 3 days worth of meat from the beach yesterday, so could we have had time to prepare?
Yes. Well, during your break, you probably had some time to smoke the meat, prepare it, salt it, whatever you wish.
Yep, 3 days worth of.
Probably just roast it. I don't think you can salt the whole thing within a day. It does need to some time to
Soak in.
wrap it up. Yeah. So I would assume it's just roasted. It's probably cold now, but
Yeah, maybe we'll keep for a while.
As long as it's edible.
as long as it's edible, yes. And we cooked it, so we're not going to get like intestinal parasites or anything from it.
Yep. Okay, so identifying the spider wing.
Yes.
What was the difficulty?
Difficulty on this thing is a 5 because you've never seen anything like it.
Okay,
Alright.
but we're both technically trained, so it's -1.
And he's a
so it becomes
specialist.
difficulty 4.
Yes.
Oh, so he is in 3, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, -4, he's a 3. Okay. I do not succeed at all.
Rago, you identify this thing as a salvaging spider. They're known to generally not be hostile to organics, but they tend to go after people that are carrying large amounts of ciphers or artifacts or anything it can salvage.
Ooh.
Well, good thing I only have a rivet gun and a piece of rubber.
Also, you health robot.
You also have a
Yes.
grenade launcher and a shotgun on you, so...
Yes, it might...
and
yeah,
you're
well,
made of metal.
Well, partially at least. I mean, it's just some prosthetics, probably.
Yes, so you're not entirely a non-target.
Yeah, like I could probably harvest some ciphers out of you if it came to that. So,
Yes. I do have a camera, and eventually, I think it's tier 3 or something, I get a built-in weapons.
Okay. So what is your next move?
alright, we have a spider here that probably wants to eat us if it sees us.
Yes, and there's also the window with a small ice bridge leading outside, I think, at the very least.
That's not an ice bridge. That's just open air. Although you haven't checked out the window.
Fair enough. Can I peer outside? Ooh.
Do you
Don't
notice that?
stop stand on top of each other.
You notice that there's a small ledge directly outside the window, going off around the building.
Oh, it's a small ledge if you want to risk it.
Well, I don't want to attract undue attention, and we do have the grip claw in case we need extra assistance.
Okay.
But the grip claw isn't something you can just use in this situation. You could use it to launch yourself to the other building, but that's it.
Yeah, wasn't kind of slow and cumbersome to use.
Yeah, it takes a while to set up, and all it is, it creates a zip line, so it's not like a perfect solution.
Yeah, like basically the image I have in mind of it is like a bazooka, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Shoots it. Yeah, not that like thing. Alright. So where does the ledge lead?
The ledge goes all the way around the building, so... You do notice that somewhere further up, it looks like the building is somewhat ruined open.
So the skyscrapers are missing like the tops
Or sides.
or sides. Was there like some sort of blast, or was it? Or does it look natural?
What do you mean? Well, it
Is
just
it
looks like
possible to
natural
discern?
decay. Like so far, you've not seen
Mhm.
like any signs of warfare.
Hmm. Just the elements wearing things down.
That's fair enough.
Alright. Do you want to try shinging your way across?
Well, considering I have a lot of trouble, I'd rather use a grip claw. Is it possible?
Where do you want to take the
I,
grip claw to?
well, I could also tie us together with some rope.
Fair enough. Can we set it up?
Sure.
I mean, is there stable enough for this?
If you want to set the grip claw up, there's like the ground is probably good enough to hold it.
Okay, fair enough. Plus, we won't be transporting too heavy, things that are too heavy. I mean, fair enough. Well, fingers crossed that the thing does not attract the spider.
So where are you firing it at, though?
The building across.
Okay. But do you see any, like, you know what, I'll put some windows in.
Yeah, sure, because we can't really see the surface of the building.
Oh, right. It's in the blackness.
Well, we could either aim for the window itself and just break through it, or we could aim somewhere like to the side of it and then try to open it quietly. I would suggest the second.
Oh, the grip claw is going to make enough noise.
I know that's going to make enough noise. I just don't want to break it through the window because probably we won't be able to fit with it. Like, I mean, you slide and you hit your head over the thing.
Okay. I'm going to roll a luck check to see if the spider happens to wander into your room. Whew. So as you set up the grip claw, you hear the tick, 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 tick on the floor above, skittering around.
Oh, heck.
It seems to be getting quieter. But then sometimes, maybe it's just your mind, you hear it again.
Must be my imagination. Also, this is what's going to happen if we just shoot it straight for the window.
Well, fire at will, I say.
What would be the check that we need to do?
Give me a speed accuracy check. Difficulty 4, depending on where you're aiming. If you're trying to aim
Fair
like through
enough.
the window, that'd be a 4. If you're trying to aim next
Fair
to the
enough.
window, it's just a 3.
I would like to aim next to the window, and I would like to spend effort. Click
Okay.
1 point, and that would be difficulty 3.
Oh yeah, I'm
Or is
keeping
it
an eye
difficulty
on the doorway.
Difficulty 2, I think, yeah. Well, I succeed.
Will you accept a GM intrusion?
Yes.
You miss and hit straight through the window. The window breaks and shatters. You hear a lot of noise, even through the snow outside. The rope it's connected in such a way that if you take the wire walkers, you'll get through without like cutting yourself open on the broken windows. But you do hear the skittering getting a bit more aggressive all of a sudden. It's coming back down.
Might want to hurry up.
Well, you first.
Okay. Ooh. Nah.
Whoosh.
Okay, seems safe.
Skitter.
And I attempt to withdraw the line before the spider gets to the device.
You try to withdraw, but it's clear that the grip claw might not be built to be suspended in like old concrete and steel or rebarb or whatever it's planned into. It does not immediately retract. And you can see the spider through the window now.
Oh no.
Okay, can I do something with the grip claw? Like,
You can try to pull the wire to wrench it loose.
no, that's
I'm going to take aim and try to shoot it
Okay.
to delay it.
You're at like a long distance, so you're gonna lose your negative modifier on this.
Of course. And I'll be using the slugs.
Okay.
So and I don't want to use the grenade launcher because I'll just collapse the whole building.
Difficulty 3, please.
Thank you. I'd like to spend effort. 1 more point. Click. So that would be difficulty 2.
Okay. So that's a good enough roll that when you hit it, the slug kind of stuns it for a moment, giving Roggo the time he needs to wrench the thing loose and allow the automatic retractor to pull it back in.
Yes.
There's no wire connecting the two buildings, and the spider doesn't look like it's too interested in going through the snow to get to you.
Fair enough. I just kind of tinked it in the head.
Yeah, like even with your slug, you didn't do that much damage. This thing is well armored.
Oof. Well, I just wanted to, wow, I saw that. Something like flew right past.
Yeah. Also saw
I don't
something.
know what that was. But I saw something big and flying.
Yeah, let's get away from the windows.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go back and just close it. Oh wait, I can't close it because we broke through. Damn
it. Cormo's like, I'll be nice and close the window for the next people. Oh, no.
No, it's not for the next people, just for us, because wind and everything. The main danger of cold is, staying dry. The main problems of cold is staying dry and wind chill.
So in this building, a large chunk is missing. Part of it looks like natural decay. The other part looks like something clawed it apart. Something huge.
Oh, that's not great. Do I... No. Ooh, what the hell was that? Okay, do I know if there are any, like, large animals, or would this just be a robot of some kind rampaging around?
You can inspect some of the claw damage. Like, there's a distinct claw mark nearby you could inspect.
Oh.
If you have anything that would help you with analyzing substances, you can try to analyze the scrapings of whatever clawed at it.
Well, things that come close are handle animals, herpology, and Numenera.
I'll give you handle animals, but purely to identify whatever it's in organic or not. Difficulty 5.
Well, hand animal drops to 4. Nope. No idea.
It's hard to say. With all the snow and all the cold, it could be anything. It feels just as hard as metal, and your fingers are too numb to properly sense it. It's kind of sharp, though. Like, it's pretty sharp for something so big. Oh, don't forget to add both get your experience point for that intrusion.
Yep, already added.
Mostly at Como because you didn't do it. Yeah.
Yes.
Roll me both perception. Intellect, difficulty 2.
Click.
So, that noise you heard, even through the snowstorm, you hear like little whirring noises of like small engines.
Alright. Can I see anything flying through the air?
Yes. You see a tiny, floating metal ball with a propeller and a little grabby hand under it.
Oh. Alright.
When it sees you, it flies towards you. It doesn't seem to be harmful, but there it is.
Can I make it?
Nudge it carefully.
Can I make a guess as to its purpose?
Well, you don't have to guess because a second later it suddenly grabs at your at one of your spears, at your spear.
Oh, I tried to knock it off. Yeah.
It's not too difficult. The creature just lets go because it's clearly not made to like fight big things. It also is kind of flimsy and it's flying, so limited ability to pull at things, and it just kind of gives up at that point.
I love it. It's cute. I want 10.
Well, judging by the noise you heard, there's probably more than one.
Yeah.
Ooh. There might be a swarm around.
Though judging by this little thing, it wouldn't be too difficult to dissuade them because this one's already like given up on trying to take your stuff and just hovers there.
Yeah, well, a single rat isn't dangerous either, but a swarm of them can get bad.
I love it. Are they going to try to knock us down if we try to walk across?
Well, for now, they just look like automatons of some sorts, so who knows what they're programmed to do.
Well, these things generally can't stay up for long, so either they have a very efficient fuel source or they have a recharging station nearby.
Could be either.
If we ever need to deal with them, we can probably look for the specific station that they're coming from.
So, what are you going to do now? The wall next to you is like
to...
busted open, so you could try to sidle across real fast.
Yes. I still need a difficulty check for that, though, because I'm clumsy.
It's a difficulty 3. It's kind of difficult because the wall's like half sticking out, so you very awkwardly have to push your way past.
Fair enough. Is this a speed, however, check?
No, this is climbing.
Can I help him with this?
You could try to give him some instructions, since you have climbing as trained skill.
Fair enough. I'm going to use effort, too, because it goes from difficulty 4 to difficulty 2, right?
It will be might, in this case.
Oh, might.
Trying to hold on.
Well, I don't have much might to spare, so...
And you should really tie us to get together if you're going to do some climbing. Safety rope.
Not a bad idea. You are now tied together.
Extra rope.
Well, if I fall down, we both fall down.
I'll anchor myself on the wall.
Rogo is a strong man. He can hold himself.
Yes. Fair enough. Is that still difficulty free, or is it a little bit easier now?
Well, with the robots buzzing around your head, it's a little bit annoying to do, but you manage to succeed. You very carefully saddle across. Somewhat nervous about all these flying propeller blades around you, but...
Yes.
They seem to keep their distance well enough. Somewhat unnerving, though.
Unnerving, but I find them cute.
They do kind of buzz around your head, though. Buzz, buzz.
Well, I try to avoid getting hit as much as possible.
So the next wall is just like a small ledge. It's just a difficulty 1 check to saddle across to the next section.
Fair enough.
Which Rogo can just do with ease. With the greatest of ease.
I seem to be getting the hang of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying not to look down. Yeah.
Giving a few pointers. Do I need to roll anything as I...
Oh no, you're skilled enough to just get across, especially with the safety rope to help you out.
Yep.
Don't forget to untie it later.
I know, I gotta reveal the area. At the end of the place, you see an open, like the wall all opened up.
You know what this reminds me of?
Hmm?
The bridge level from Lost Light.
Hee.
It's just beautiful.
Well, then just imagine that. So you're in a room,
Yes.
and now that you're like in a more stable section, because before you were mostly in like ruined parts that were clearly torn apart. Now you see like small cubicles all over the place with strange square boxes in front of them. Some are flat, some are more box-shaped. There's chairs, some of which are rolled around all over the place.
Uh-huh.
Chairs on wheels. Why would you do that?
Yeah. Old world of decadence.
If I want a chair, I want wheels on it.
Can I try to scavenge any shiny things from here?
So, you can. And every time you take something out, like one of the machines will fly in, and it will take a shin from you and then fly away with it. So...
That seems like an acceptable price to pay, to be perfectly honest.
Roll me 44 shins as you take apart like computers and stuff.
44.
Okay, so you lose about 4 shins as the machines take their share and then just woo fly off.
So I recovered 10 shins.
Oh, I guess I don't need to roll. Okay, fair enough.
Because these things are like they're half broken down, so it's kind of hard to salvage like good chunks that you can trade with or use for things.
Well, at the very least, there's some metals in there.
Yeah, some really weird metals.
Yeah, as I said, shiny stuff.
Um,
Yeah, so, nice,
Here's the
nice
particular
lesson.
thing that I meant with a rolling storm.
rolling storm. Oh, that's spooky, man. All them cliffs. But yes, yeah, the snowstorm, by the way, the snow outside is starting to slowly but surely temper down a bit. Like it's starting to be less snowy now.
Alright, what? Okay, what does this space ahead look like?
It's an alleyway. Like down below, you can see an alleyway. It's not as snowed under because of all the cover from the buildings, but there's like some ice bridges that are covering the area.
Mm-hmm.
They're very thin, however, and it would be kind of difficult to climb across. And the ice. So here's the fun thing about these ice bridges. The way they're connected is it looks like the ice bridge is formed and then sort of tore down parts of the wall and then got stuck. So there's like odd shapes of walls attached to the ends that are sticking into the buildings.
So I guess there were some ropes or cables that served to accumulate ice.
Could be.
Hmm.
You don't see any ropes inside the clear blue ice, but could be.
Well, if we don't, then this is a very, very weird formation. But that is fair enough. I'm gonna risk the shortest one because it is the hardest one to collapse, I would imagine. Assuming roughly same thickness.
Well, when you go to the center, it's like the center is less far away from the ends, which is the point you're trying to make. Right? Like if you have a long plank and you stand in the middle, it's worse than if you stand on a short plank in the middle. Because of how momentum works.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it is unfortunately very thin, so I'm going to ask you to make a difficulty 4 balancing check. Your inability is nullified by the fact that you have a safety rope on which you can rely.
Okay.
It is a speed check, so... Yeah. Okay, so with a deep breath, you very carefully walk across. This is a very round one. The other one was kind of flat. This one's very round, so it takes a bit of work, but eventually you come on the other side and you're relieved to have come across that.
I just crawled across.
Most certainly. There, I made it.
Spread the weight around, yes.
You're standing in a very small hallway.
Say again?
You're standing in a small hallway. Yes, I'm recording.
Okay.
Oh yeah, do I need to roll anything to cross this thing?
Well, in your case, it would just be a difficulty 3, because you have the rope and all. And if you have any further experiences with balancing, you can add those too. Speed check.
I have climbing.
Okay. Well, you can use that to crawl across if you wish, to lower it further.
Alright,
I'll help you out if you fall.
2 then. No.
Okay. What do you want in return for that monumental effort?
Well, I just make it really quickly.
Okay. Doesn't he? The Como took it very slowly. He crawled, and all you just like whoop a doop a doop across, like a caterpillar.
Just got the across.
So again, you're in a small hallway. There seems to be like a staircase going down, but it's ruined and it doesn't look like a staircase at all.
Is it possible to squeeze through in here?
Yes, it'd be a tight fit. That'd be a difficulty 2 check to fit through.
Fair enough. Fingers crossed. Okay, barely made it.
Oh.
Your check isn't... Oh, there we go. Oof. Like, there's like metal spits sticking out, like rebarb and all, but you managed to just carefully squeeze by. Rogo doesn't have to roll because his force field will properly protect him against all extending parts. His force field just crackles a bit as he pushes through. You're now standing in a room. There's a screen in the room, which is, like a dressing screen. And there's a bed off in the corner.
Someone's fancy apartment.
Yeah, it's really fancy because it's like a 4-poster bed. It's small, but it's a fancy place.
Okay. Can I try searching for anything like under the bed or?
Okay. I'm going to roll you some oddities to find.
Ooh.
How do we roll for oddities? Okay. Oops, I forgot to pull up my Brock Jones dice roller. Someday, I'll get my actual own dice, and I can do this on the fly. Okay. Oddities table 2.
They can't be too expensive.
I already ordered some, and they're coming in soon. You find a dark glass trapezohedron that, if held behind someone's head, makes them state his name even though he was unaware that he did so.
Wow.
You found this in like a
That
drawer.
is-
Let me roll one more item. Because there's one like behind the viewing screen as you look around.
Mhm.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. The other item is great for people that love to watch clouds, as it is a metal disc with a hole that reveals the shape in clouds when you look through it.
This sounds like a nifty party tool.
It's great if you're looking for things that are hiding in clouds.
Yes.
Huh.
Would that work? Would that technically fit the same definition as, say, smoke clouds and whatnot?
Who knows?
Is it possible to use it as night vision goggles of sorts?
I'll allow it. I'll say that it basically it shows a shape, but you need to have a light source, and it will allow you to see through vapor clouds of any type.
Fair enough. So it's more like old-fashioned, technically night vision goggles that require a projector.
Yep.
To see things. That
So
needs
who
to
takes
illuminate
which?
stuff. Okay.
Well, cool. So the metal disc was in the
Behind the
pressure
screen.
thing?
Behind the screen, yes. I will probably attempt to incorporate that into my whole headset thingy,
Yeah, well,
just in case.
makes sense
Like
that
a
Como
lens or
found it
something.
over there. So I'll take the weird trapezohedron.
And because you have such expertise training with Numenera, you're able to tell what they do just on a glance.
Yep. I'll hold it behind Como's head. Huh?
Como says, Como.
Cool.
It is a nice truth device if you think about it.
Yep, if you need to give somebody's...
Also, Como, you are not aware that you did that.
I know. I'm just like bug-eyed for a second.
So as you walk through this room and you've checked it out a bit, you notice that nearby there's like a large metal spire that kind of reminds you of what you saw on Madela.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I just laid in the bed for a moment because I wanted to feel comfy for a sec.
It's a really comfy bed, like high-class stuff.
Too bad we can't take it with us.
So this is a small little... So you can do one of two things. You can take a running start and jump across, or you can sidle across the ice to get to the next building.
There isn't much space to actually make speed, but I can probably run over here.
Oh, you have running. You can just make a running start wherever you want.
Yeah. Well, just in case, I'm gonna... and hope I don't slip.
Difficulty 1, please.
Yes, I approach the ledge running and click. I just fall over and tumble. Yes.
Alright. Do I need to make anything?
No, you're good enough. You know how to make this. Also, you're attached by rope, so that was very awkward. In fact, you probably can just use the rope and pull yourself across with Como.
Yeah.
Just throw me the rope, I'll just yank you over.
So with the snowstorm gone, you can see very far now.
Yes. Are there any ways that we can see that are... Yeah, probably none. Yeah.
So
From that building across, is it possible for me to see if it's just like a piece of debris with nothing there? Yeah.
Oh,
Probably nothing there.
it's mostly broken apart. The funny thing is, I expected you guys to take that route, but the spider got in the way. But You do see the metal spire that reminds you from Adela. Um, you see an
Is it
entrance down
possible to
below,
use?
and the entrance
Hmm.
is actually doesn't seem to be as snowed over, as if there's a heat source warming the snow away.
Hmm. I would expect some snow caverns or some such, but that's fair enough.
Oh, like there are snow caverns leading from that place. Like it's clear, and then it goes into tunnels that go
Hmm.
through the snow itself.
So there's just some sort of heat source that forces all the ice to melt over and just kind of.
Hmm.
It's probably very, very slippery though.
Even with the drainage system, it would be very slippery.
Yes, assuming it works. I mean, I would imagine
I mean, maybe that's just
the
a
water just
Numenera device mounted that forces snow not to form there.
maybe there's some sort of like force field that yeah.
Okay,
In any case, I would like to attempt to use the grip claw here, just to descend down.
now here's the problem with the grip claw. If you decide to take the grip claw on the wire walkers, you're going to have to time it properly, and I'll make you roll for that.
What do you mean time it properly? It's a static target.
No, I mean when you take the wire walkers, you're going to have to time it properly because the speed you're going to get is unreliable, and it's
Hmm.
entirely possible that you'll time it wrong, and one of you is going to get jerked along, unless you untie yourselves, of course.
Well, we'll probably go across one by one, so.
That's the problem. You're going to
Okay,
untie
fair enough.
yourselves?
I'm gonna try to take that route because that would be easier for me, and Rauko can use the ice bridge because that would be easier for him.
Uh,
How does that sound?
Sure, I'll untie the rope, take it back.
Okay. You set up the whole kipping a boodle, and you can go now. I'm going to roll you a check in secret. You got lucky there. Because this is a ruined building, and setting up a grip claw could cause the collapse, which seems that doesn't happen as you slide your way down.
Do I slam into the wall?
Nope. No, you can just stick your feeties out and then you'll land proper and safe. It's just a little way down before you reach the floor.
Fair enough. Do we see where the entrance is? Could you ping
Yep,
it?
the entrance is open, and you can just easily go inside.
Ooh.
So we both make it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like falling would be a big risk because the ice spire goes down, so you can just slide across.
Yeah, but the landing would still be pretty hard to do.
It's a lot of snow. He'll be fine.
It could be ice or stone underneath, but yeah, okay, we made it. I'm not gonna argue with that.
So you're
I
now
missed
in an
the
area.
opportunity to spin stuff. Like
So you see some of those little scavenger robots like fly past sometimes.
Mhm.
But for the most part, this place is very there's like beds all over the place for some reason.
Huh.
A lot
like
of
bunk
beds.
beds or proper beds.
So these things, these star things, are lights, and those
Mhm.
square things are beds in this particular instance. And there's like pillars over here.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Are those just bunk beds?
Yeah, they're bunk beds. They're shoddily made, but they're bunk beds.
So somebody has been taking cover here, or maybe it was the priests that were. Well, obviously they can't really set up tents outside.
Yeah, most likely.
Fair enough. Are there any signs of recent life here?
Well, other than the scavenger robots, not much.
So no fresh food, no lights, no nothing.
No.
Is it possible to try and turn the lights on, or are they on by default?
They are on by default.
Okay,
It's pretty
so
bright
that
in here.
probably right. So that's what the glow that we saw, I suppose.
Mhm.
Are these doors in any way mechanical, by the way?
They're similar to the
sliding.
doors you saw in Medela.
Mhm.
They're just doorways, and there seems to be some sort of force field, but you can pass through for some reason.
Fair enough.
If you pay attention, you'll notice that the force field deactivates whenever one of those little mechanical things comes by.
So it's possible to slip by, but
You don't
at
have
the
to.
very least, it's not gonna. Yeah, at the very least, it's not gonna cut us apart. If it, yeah, it's probably the same field that keeps away the snow.
So, as you walk through, you see a bunch of boxes stacked all over the place.
I'll scout ahead in this direction.
Yeah, well, shout if anything happens.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, oh,
Oh shit. Hello.
So
You
that
found
thing,
Robocop.
he found RoboCop. I think the other guy found a more RoboCop. So the machine in front of you is big and strong and looks perfectly in place for all these boxes that are around you.
Yes.
It does not seem, however, too appreciative of your presence in this room. As for
doesn't
you,
apply to both of us.
so for you, Rogo, the machine you are looking at seems to be mostly inert. It
Oh,
takes some offense to the weapon you're carrying, but otherwise does not take immediate action.
Does mine do anything?
Um, it seems upset that you just walked over one of its boxes. Like you're getting close to and it says something in a language you don't fully understand.
Fair enough.
You get the gist that he's angry, though.
Yes. Well, I'm not going to touch any of the boxes, so I'm going to back away slowly.
I'll put my hands up. And
That never helps.
It doesn't seem to respond to you putting your hands up. It's just as passive as it was before.
Oh. Does it move in any sort of way?
As it sees Como and Como's two big firearms, it seems to come into action.
Damn it.
Oh, maybe you should have stayed back.
Maybe you shouldn't carry guns openly.
Well, I could try to hide them under the trench coat and the fluffy coat and everything that we picked up.
Roll me a speed check to do that if you actually want to do that, because...
Yes, I would like to attempt to conceal my weapons.
Difficulty 4, because you were doing this on the fly.
Yes, and just hide everything. Spend one effort. That would be difficulty 3. Click. Oh my god.
Okay, so what you do is you fumble with your weapons, and it sees that as a sign of aggression. The gun it aims its firearm at you.
Fair enough. I just push Rogo over into the boxes and take aim at it.
I
Take cover behind the corner as much as I can and just flutter away.
I pull out my crossbow. Because, yeah.
Got to do something.
Yeah.
Roll me initiative against level 3, which would be 2 for you.
2 for me or 2
2 for both, because you both have they use danger sense and you have initiative.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make
Yes.
us have 2 turns in a row, basically?
No, you get to decide who goes first,
Mhm.
and then he goes.
Okay. Well, considering I have the initiative, so I would probably move a little bit faster. So I would like to use my shotgun with...
Oh no, it's you have to decide that amidst yourselves.
Well, I am.
Okay, so Rogo, I push you to the boxes. What do you do? Do you take aim or what?
Yeah, I'll. Is there room behind the box? Like.
You can sort of nudge the box forward and you'll have full cover.
Yep, I'll take half cover and do the crossbow bolt there at the robot.
It will be a speed check, and it will be difficulty. What am I going to pick for this? Let's go for 3. It's a pretty big target. It's not even trying to dodge.
Blank.
How much damage does that do?
4.
4. In that case, it only does 2 damage, but it seems to do some it hits it in like a servo. The armor takes much of the impact, but now it's stuck, and it can't seem to move from its position, or not effectively. It seems. Como, your turn.
Yes. Well, considering these are robots, I probably need something with a little bit more penetration, so I'm going to be using my slugs. In which case, I'm going to attempt to shoot this thing again with a pierce. That would require me... Yeah. What's the difficulty for this one?
As I said before, 3.
Yeah, but it's stuck in place now, so...
Okay, then it takes 2.
Fair enough. Then in that case, I don't need to spend effort to try and hit it, but I mean, I'll probably flunk it anyway. Click. Yes, I did flunk it.
Your slug bounces off the wall, and
Or just misses, yeah.
and it almost hits you. You're like, oh Jesus!
Okay,
You know,
that's
If
one
with a
less-
2,
one
because
less
you had a
point.
modifier. Oh no, wait, you lost that modifier, didn't you? You did, or you cleaned it out? Probably cleaned it
No,
out.
I would have lost the modifier if it was
Oh yeah.
snowing, but it's clear sight and it's close up, so there's
Okay.
that.
No, that's a natural one anyway.
Okay. I'm going to need some speed defense from Como, who has the gun.
Yes.
Roll me a difficulty 4, since it is using a very powerful firearm.
Yes, I did not succeed.
Como,
I hate myself with the shrapnel.
you take 4 points of damage as a bullet hits you hard on.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Actually, don't forget your armor. You have your fancy trench coat.
Oh, in that case, it only goes down by 2 points, yes.
You hear its gun whirring as if it's charging up. It's your guys' turns again. Don't forget, you can change turns as you see fit.
You want me to try and flunk it again?
Okay, I'll try to use my Numenera knowledge to identify some kind of weak spot or an off switch.
Difficulty 3, since you're on a bit of a pickle situation.
Okay, 3 with my specialization will drop that to 1.
Okay. See if you can make a 1. It's intellect if you want to. Okay. Don't need to tell you what happens now. Okay, you find a weak spot. You do plus 2 damage on your next hit.
Alright.
So if you miss, you still keep it, but once you hit it, you've exhausted the weak spot, so to speak.
Alright. Can I still attack on my turn?
Yes, because you're just giving him a look.
Right. And that's difficulty 3
2.
or 2. Alright. Crossbow.
You hit it right in the weak spot, dealing another 4 damage. The place you hit it is one of the actuators on its other arm, so...
Right.
At this rate, it's going to be disabled before it's destroyed.
Which is fine, at least we'll be able to poke around in it while it's still active.
Como, go for it.
Yes. Let me attempt to do the same thing. Because, you know, do the same thing and expect a different result. God damn.
Wow.
Yes.
Man.
That's a very fast one. Okay, so another shot. You hit yourself.
Yes.
But luckily it's a ricochet shot, so your cloak is able to absorb all the damage from it.
It's like...
Como, speed
Okay,
defense
that's
5.
almost both. Yes, 1 second. Speed defense 5. Click.
So, it fires, you hear kaboom! And there's now a large hole in the wall behind you, as you only just managed to dodge into cover. This thing packs heat. And so the turn goes back to you guys.
Okay, is it like carrying a distinct weapon?
Yes, it's carrying something that looks like a pistol, but the pistol has like a weird blue cylinder at the bottom, right in front of the trigger, and it looks a bit bulkier than normal. Kind of like a hand, like something you'd call a hand cannon.
Okay, but it's something that it's gripping in its...
It's holding it. It has a holster even.
Alright. I'll try to go in with my spear and try to disarm it.
Okay. Well, I'll let you pick. You can either go for might or speed to try and disarm it. Either way, it's difficulty 4 since it has a pretty tight grip.
I'll go for speed and give it a level of effort. So it was
3.
4. Now it's 3, right?
Yep.
With the effort.
Yep. Hup, cha! You manage to knock the gun out of its hands, which falls on the ground. It is now disarmed and most likely unable to attack if you take your distance.
Yep. Smack the weapon out of my hand and jump back. Whoa. Alright. Now's your chance.
Yes. How dead is it, by the way?
Oh, you don't even have to roll for this one. You can finish it off if you like.
Fair enough, but I'm still going to use the bullet. I have way more shells than slugs, so I'm going to use that one. Click, which means it's not going to do as much damage, but...
Oh, you don't have to roll. It's a sitting duck and doesn't have a gun.
I know.
You just fire and shoot off its head. And it seems to fall completely motionless. The head rolls on the ground. It's got like a huge hole in it and a big dent at the back.
Ish.
All right, good work.
Yeah, well, I mean, I shot myself twice. That's not really a good work.
Yeah, maybe your shotgun is cursed or something. Have you angered its machine spirit or something?
Or maybe it was the deer.
Maybe it
Hmm.
was the deer that cursed me.
Even though it went
Maybe
for
it's all the
Rogo.
cold.
Okay, can I scavenge the weapon? Gun?
Okay, so this weapon is a unique artifact. It has little plates on the handle, so you get the impression that it is recharged by being held by this machine. However, it has enough charge that you can fire one charged shot with it, which is -2 modifier on the attack and deals 10 damage on impact, but then the gun is also completely discharged.
Ah,
That is fair enough.
It is also not a
Am
cipher,
I...
but an artifact, so it doesn't count against your limit.
Yes. Is it possible for me to use my machine parts to charge it?
That would be a hard check to make. I'd say
Every
that's like
time I want to recharge it, or to establish that it's possible?
it would be well, you think you can do it, but it would be like a 6 or a 7 to actually put another set of charges in.
Every time.
Yep. Well,
That's fair enough.
only the first time. You don't know if you have the means of like you're trying to recharge a battery with foreign technology. It's likely that after the first charge, you're going to damage the battery.
So we'll be able to recharge it once, and then it's completely useless.
And then you can't recharge it again.
Hmm.
There's around 5 bullets left in the clip.
Okay, that's fair enough. So we can get 2 shots out of it technically, or we can. Is it
No, actually,
possible
if
for
you
us-
recharge it, you can use it. You can use a full clip of it. It's just that it discharged a lot in the supercharge attack and all.
Ah. Well, that's fair enough. We can keep it for now.
Okay.
I would rather not risk breaking it, because I'm gonna roll a 1, it's just gonna explode.
Hehe.
Do you want to keep the gun since you're the gun
Sure, I
holder?
can carry. It still has 1 charge, so at the very least I can use it once
Most
as a
what
panic
would it-
button.
What were the
Does it
stats
still
for the gun?
require?
Could you please
Excuse me?
not talk over each other every single
I'm
time?
sure we're trying. It's hard to do with the delays and everything.
Hmm.
So what were you asking, Como?
I was asking if. Oh my god, I totally forgot. Blanked out for a second.
Then what were you asking, Rogo?
Does it require 1 turn to charge before shooting?
No.
So you can just fire off a charge shot. Okay.
Oh, well, no, yeah, no. It's just that it fired once and then charged it afterwards.
All right.
Okay, that's fair enough.
So, what were the stats for the gun?
It does 10 damage, and it's difficulty 7 to charge it. And only Como can try to do so.
Okay. Right.
Wait a moment. So we can fire off a charged shot right now because it's already charged on demand.
It has sufficient battery to fire a charged shot.
Right, but then we'll need to fire off a charged shot. I can charge it again, and then it will still have 3 bullets left.
4 bullets.
Well, 3 if we should fire off twice, then it's going to go from 5 to 3, right?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I see we'll keep it, and then ask in the city if we can have rechargeable batteries for this.
I mean, I doubt it, but...
Well, maybe they just have already.
I mean,
they already have
here's
like
the thing you have to consider. You stole this from a temple. The people that can recharge it are the priests, and they're going to take it from you if they get the chance.
Oh. Okay, well, in that case, just panic button, not hiding it.
Okay. So what's in this room, and can we scavenge anything useful?
So this is just another room with some boxes. The boxes are filled with like very expensive-looking spare parts. Like this is all like repair stuff. You also notice that there's like scavenged things that probably came from the city itself, like scavenged materials.
Okay.
And there is a very big Wi-Fi sign at the end of this corridor.
Hey, Como, do you need any spare parts?
Yeah, I could use some actually.
Okay, so I'll say that you can scavenge 1d4 repair parts, and if you use them, they essentially count as an asset towards repairs.
Fair enough. Is it possible for me to take a pause to try and fix myself?
Sure. I'll
Well,
say that
while
since
we-
you're in this room, you can just take one with asset for free.
So just restore 1 point?
No, what an asset means is you lower the difficulty by 1.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, then I would like to do that. What would be the difficulty for repair?
Well, the difficulty for repairs is 5, minus your training, minus your asset, so.
So that would be difficulty 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Okay, you managed to repair your whole arm, all the way.
Thank you.
Alright. Can I scavenge anything useful from our robot friend here?
Also added 4 repair cuts to come. Okay. Give me a second.
Repair what?
I'm gonna look up
repair goods, yes.
a good robot
Thank
so I
you.
can get some. Oof. I'll roll some things. You recover around 72 shins. Like, this is a high-end robot with some really high-end materials in it. Like, it is made, like, you might have some issues using these shins, because it's likely that if the priests find out you have this materials, they might get a bit suspect, but damn, if you didn't find some stuff that's worth a pretty penny.
Okay. Well, I distribute the wealth, give Como 36 shins.
Okay, and furthermore, I also get to roll you guys some ciphers.
Thank you.
Where's the die roller? Table, oh wait, D20. Table C and table B. You find a energy siphon and a mini gate. Let me look up energy siphon first.
A quick elaboration.
Yes.
Wouldn't the priests be actually in favor of us bringing them things from the Lost Temple and whatnot, because they can actually use it?
Okay. If you can convince them that you're doing this out of good faith, you could probably do that.
Okay, fair enough. Well, if we're going to be dealing with the priest-related shops or anything, or just people who are related to this religion, then we'll withhold this wealth, but, you know. Actually, I'm just going to put it like that. I'm going to have my 17 shins on me and just put the 36 as, like, you know, dubious origin.
Yeah. Ooh. It's shaky. Huh.
Hmm. So technically, that's a cipher.
Those
Oh,
two
it's still
items are
1 use.
ciphers.
Yeah.
Do you have any free slots for ciphers?
I do actually, yes. I can keep one for you if you need it.
I'll actually use my infiltrator cipher to scout out the areas ahead.
Okido!
So it launches a tiny capsule that moves at great speed, mapping and scanning an unknown area. Moves, check, 500 feet or 152 meters per level, and it's 5 levels, so that's
I guess it does this.
half a kilometer. Area scanning an area up to 50 feet or 50 meters per level away from it. Identifies basic layout, creatures, and major energy sources. So when is blocked by any physical or energy barrier.
Indeed.
Scanning an area up to 75 meters away from it. Alright. Ooh. Does it detect any major energy sources?
Yes, it detects several energy sources on another floor. Down below.
That
Okay.
looks like an AI with spider
And,
eyes. Oof.
and what about creatures?
Nothing living.
Okay. Could be robots up ahead. Alright. Of the, which one do you want of the two ciphers we just found? And this is siphon or mitigate?
I would attempt the energy siphon if at all possible.
Alright.
Como would prefer
Prefer
not to
that one.
die.
Yes. I mean, if I hit myself again, I'll probably just, yeah.
Okay, I'll take the mitigate.
Excellent.
Interesting thing. So that's 1d6 plus.
Cheapers. That's a strong minigate.
Oh, lasts for 1 round per cycle level, so 8 rounds. Alright.
Cool. Your hand can grab a lot of things with your grabby hands.
Don't use it for pranks, please. Voice modulators and just add like metallic ring to my voice on the mic. That would be neat. As I go through the tiers.
Okay. Okay. Back in the library. Oh. Yeah. I could bap someone up through a.
Bap 'em good.
Alright. Should we continue ahead, or do you want to look at the other storage room?
There was a robot there. It wasn't really hostile to me, but
They didn't appreciate your presence.
yes,
Yeah, well,
it really didn't like me there. Also,
we
Found
probably have to scrap it.
the charged gun. Hey, okay. Well, should we risk the other room?
Oh,
We can probably take it. I mean, if I don't end up shooting myself in the foot again, like an idiot.
well, if you do, we have spare parts.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Let's poke around and investigate. Eh. Well, I'm gonna let you in first because it seemed to react to me, but I carry a lot of metal on me.
It was mostly
Alright.
reacting to you stepping near the boxes.
Yes.
Okay, I'll approach the room, see how the creature reacts. The robot.
You hear a growl. It's an unpleasant grinding noise, if anything.
Fuck.
Cute. Okay, can I see any kind of weaponry on this thing?
Nope, but it looks strong.
Alright. Yeah, okay. This one will try to punch us. It's like. Okay. Okay. So, do you want to try and destroy it, or
I could try.
all right? Well, I'll pull out
I just
my.
want to hit this stuff behind it.
You've already rolled all your ones out, Como. You'll be fine.
Fair enough.
Okay. Okay. What I'm gonna do then, before we start attacking, is throw my magnetic shield pyramid on the ground in between us.
Oh. Does the magnetic shield repel or attract?
Repel. For 10 minutes, metal objects cannot come within immediate range of the activated device.
Okay. So you effectively get your free shots.
Yep.
Well, I'll just say you win the initiative because it can't react first because it has to fight against this field.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
See, this is what ciphers are for. You use them once, but they always have great effect.
yes. In that case, I'm gonna try to shoot it with regular shells because they give me +1 to hit, so it's gonna be a little bit easier. How hard is it to hit this thing?
It is difficulty 3, but it has some significant armor.
Fair enough. It's difficulty 3. I have a good shotgun, so it's difficulty 2. And I'm using the shotgun shells with buckshot, which means it's difficulty 1. If I'm gonna spend effort on this, I'm just okay. Fingers crossed. Yes.
Oh, and it's a 18, so that's
Minor effect.
no, minor effect 19. 18 is 2 additional points of damage.
Okay. So how much is that in total?
It does 5 damage. I'm using Pierce. It's doing 6 damage and plus 2 more points. That is doing 8 damage.
So your shot takes a big chunk out of its armor, shredding its chest piece apart, exposing some very impressive looking wiring.
Such a shame to break these things.
You get the feeling that if you were to scrape out its internals, you could probably fit inside and it'd be nice and cozy.
Yes. Good Halloween costume. Assuming they even celebrate.
Rogo, what are you going to do?
Okay, I'll
A quick question though, why wouldn't any of your equipment be repelled by the magnetic shield?
that is a excellent question.
If anything, I would imagine. That's interesting. I would probably stick my weapon through the shield so that it repels it even further. But
I mean, if it's like a physical, like a shield that has a certain density that only exists after a certain amount, then yes, it would probably make your projectiles go faster.
Fair enough. It would be interesting to see if it's designed to stop fast-moving projectiles, but it doesn't really affect slow-moving things as much. You know, you can walk through it if you're wearing armor, but if you get shot, then it kind of stops it. That kind of thing.
Now the description is that.
Yeah, and things already in the area are slowly pushed out. However, it says within the immediate range. I don't think it means like you yourself. It just means the area around you. Because it'd be very, very awkward if you wore gloves and suddenly all your armor fell off. That does mean, however, that Como, you're repulsed backwards because of your fancy coat and all that.
Okay. Well, I'll try to identify weak spots in this thing's armor.
There's a giant hole in its chest, and you see a glowing power source. Go figure.
Alright. So do I need to roll anything just aim at the hole?
Roll difficulty 4. If you make difficulty 3, then you still hit it, but you won't hit the weak spot.
Okay. Difficulty 4. Alright, just.
Okay. Because you hit its weak spot, you do 2 extra damage. So how much damage is that?
6 in total.
You ignore some of its armor because it's been blasted off, so you do 4 points of damage. This robot's starting to look a bit shabby as the thing causes crackles and suddenly more armor pops off due to strange magnetic energies. It, however, seems to be able to move just fine, reaches to the side, grabs in one of the boxes, takes out a piece of plastic, and prepares to chuck it at full speed.
Ooh.
Difficulty 6, speed defense on both of you, please.
What difficulty was that?
6.
6.
Because it's basically throwing a speedball at you.
Yes. I'm going to spend effort on this, so it goes down by 1 point.
Well, technically, Como, you don't have to spend any effort if Rogo succeeds.
Oh, I don't?
Fails. If Rogo fails, at least.
Okay,
Okay, so Como, you don't expend any effort because you don't have to dodge to begin with, because Rogo is hit with a speedball special for 7 damage.
Ow.
Like, it hurts
Well,
like hell. You're just hitting the gut. Ugh. Your force field crackles, but it only does so much.
Well, I mean,
oh,
here,
fine.
this is probably what happened. Plastic is actually pretty dangerous.
Ooh.
What did you post? Man, that stuff just makes me scared of hurricanes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a piece of plastic just flew right at you.
It seems
Yeah,
to be
well,
aware of the magnetic field. Also, the magnetic field is not that strong. It's implied that they are slowly pushed out. Oh, they cannot come. Okay. So, Combo,
Well,
what are you going to do?
still,
You can
it's
aim around
fairly
his
broken.
shield.
Yes. I would aim around the shield, and I'm going to try to hit it again with a shotgun, so that's still a difficulty one of all the things that stack.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. So let's try this. Actually, I'm going to use... I didn't use Pierce in the last time, so I guess we can add one extra hit to that one. But I forgot to use it, so fine. So I'm going to use it now. Click.
it's
Combo
Okay,
aims.
so it's 5 damage from the shotgun itself, +1 from Pierce, and +4 from 20.
Describe how you destroy this machine, Como.
Just shoot its head off, because I want to save the insides.
Oh, no, no, no. You don't shoot its head off like a spray of metal pellets. Just tear its head asunder. It's like looking at a sandstorm eroding over years a metal skull. And it falls limp to the ground.
Okay, that's one less shell. There we go.
The power
Okay.
If
core
the
seems
priest were here,
remarkably
we would
intact.
be just executed on the spot, honestly. Damn.
good work. Hmm.
Okay. Your energy
Right.
shield expires.
Yep. And it will do so, yeah, eventually. I'm gonna take a 10-minute break here, catch my breath, and
Would Como like to do the same?
put some salve on my bruised abdomen.
If I can assist him in any way.
Hmm?
I'm not trained, however, and I'm afraid of making things worse.
Oh yeah, we found that first aid kit. But how does that work?
I'll say you get to roll your 1d6 twice, and you take the better result, and your tier bonus is doubled. So it's basically 2d6 drop lowest plus 2.
If he does not succeed, then I'm gonna, or at least the restoration is very poor. I'm gonna share my combat one action rest with him.
Right. So like
Okay.
that. 5
Yep.
points.
Could be worse.
Back to 9, so that's good.
Ugh.
That's
Yeah.
speedball special, man.
Yeah, hurricane hit.
Yeah, that stung quite a bit. And well, what can we find in this room and in that robot?
So,
While we're doing this, I need to go AFK for like 1 minute. I'll be back soon.
okay. So, what you're going to find, I already rolled you up a cipher.
Oh,
And roll me 2d20 shins.
what was it? 2
d20.
D20.
It's hard to get stuff out of this because it's like a really strong, durable robot. So it takes a bit of work, and you destroy lots of it in the process.
Dum be dum. Crunch, crunch.
Slam, slam. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Detonation, method disruption. Okay, that sounds nasty.
Indeed.
Okay, and it's
Oops.
Right. Level 9. Inflict damage equal to cycle. Okay. That's nasty.
Indeed. Indeed.
Okay, so what does this thing look like?
So, this thing is like a small thing that you clasp on your wrist, and then it extends over to your forearm and has a little gun turret at the end. So it doesn't interfere with your force field if you want to put it on the same arm.
Okay. Handheld projector. Ooh. Oh. I heard that. We'll have my upper repellent boots, communicate, and method disruption detonator. Oh yeah, and tensions.
Hello. Sorry about that.
You get 5 shins.
Thank you. Let me add that to my list. There we go.
Yep, I found a kind of sort of a grenade launcher on the robot. Attach it to my wrist.
Oh.
And
There's one more thing you find, and that is its power core. You were able to dislodge it, and it's cracked, so you can't use it to recharge anything. But you feel that if you were to throw this thing, it would probably explode with quite the bright flash.
So it would technically be like a flash grenade. That's fair enough. Is it possible for me to try and repair it, or does it require a higher skill?
Oh, that would require like a 7 or 8, because that's pretty tough.
And if I fail, it's just going to explode on me.
Oh, you'll have to roll a luck check, and we'll see just how badly you explode.
Is it capable of killing me?
It would seriously hurt. Like, Numenera characters are extremely durable, don't worry.
Okay. Well, yes, because I have 2 pools, and my pools are giant because of the...
Well, the actual way it works is in order to be dead, you need to be impaired. So you first need to lose your first pool, then your second pool, then your third pool needs to be depleted. So single damage sources, Numenera characters are remarkably durable.
Do single point damage overflow?
I don't know.
I mean, could you check?
Okay, I'll check. Oops, that's the wrong button. Playing the game. Where is this at? Damage, damage, damage. Here it is, the damage track. Hails when you're fine, impaired. It costs 1 extra point for effort. Ignores minor or major results. Doesn't do as much damage. Only 1 extra point, okay. When impaired takes enough damage to reduce one of his stat pools to 0, becomes... okay. Debilitated. So what do you want to know again?
If the damage overflows from one pool to another.
It doesn't... I don't think it does.
So no matter how much damage I take in one hit, it's not going to overflow.
Oh, no. Here it says, if damage reduces a pool to 0, any further damage is applied to another stat pool. So it overflows.
Oh, so it stacks. So technically if I get... how much is it? 13 plus 16, that's 29, plus 10, 39. So if I take more than 39, I'm just instantly dead.
Oh, there's actually a little thing for how much damage you take from things. So technically speaking, because that impact was a 7, it is the same as a collision, plus 1. So that's one hell of a speedball special, damn!
Oh.
Yeah, like being hit by a car.
Well, at the very least now we know what these things can do. Oh, also, hello, little guys. What are you doing here?
Oh, they're just delivering stuff. They seem to ignore you entirely. Like, clearly they're smart enough to know not to scavenge things that are already inside the building.
Well, except for the dead droids.
One of them, however, curiously stares at you.
Hello.
It waves its little claw at you.
That's cute. I want to touch it. Can I, like... I don't know, it's probably not going to listen to me, because I'm not the one who speaks with machines.
Bah. Okay, you can poke it, and it doesn't seem to respond. It just goes like,
Oh yeah, what does the central room look like?
The central room is very similar to what you saw back in Madla. It is a large room with a crystal spire in the center. There is a control panel directly in front of it, but doesn't seem to be on.
Oh.
There's also some beds scattered around and some boxes with food supplies that look rotten.
Ugh.
It's actually warm in here, so stuff rots.
Yes. Instead of freezing.
Okay. Can I poke around at the control panel, see if they're gonna...
As you activate the control panel, you see very boring touristic information. Roll me intellect, difficulty 5, both of you.
Both? Okay, fair enough. I just kind of poke over his shoulder and see if I can recognize any of this.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to spend effort. So that's 3 points down, and that's going to be difficulty 4.
Does my Numenera skill help with this?
No, this is pure memory.
Oh. Okay, I'll use some effort. Yeah.
So, you remember from the corner of your eye seeing very similar text in Madala. This is just like basic information about this facility.
Huh. Okay, can I does it in it? Okay, so are there any kind of error messages or anything that's going wrong?
Well, if there were error messages on these parts, then most likely the temple wouldn't be something that would have to be done covertly. That being said, however, this particular one does make mention that some maintenance is required at the lower levels. It is a very unusual message.
Huh. Okay.
Unusually phrased. It's not as technical as you would expect it to be.
Like it was not automatically generated, or? Uh-huh.
So either somebody was here and has sent a request for help, or the local AI, which you have revealed, I think, at least it's an AI, is going haywire, which is causing the whole set of problems.
It's awfully judgmental of you to say that AIs are the source of problems.
I'm not saying that it is the source of problems. I'm saying that it might not be doing its job well enough.
Well, whatever the case, there's...
Has gone so long without a memory wipe, has developed personality quirks.
Quirks.
Maybe have to explore downstairs to look at whatever is going wrong here.
As every reasonable RPG player, I just walk around the whole thing to check if there's nothing on the other side.
Oh yeah, what was this thing? Yeah.
Oh, that must have been a graphic glitch. Sorry. Also, there's echo. Bleh.
Where did that come from?
Echo.
No, there's echo from Belmore. I don't know why.
Weird.
Oh well. We'll live. That should have been pasted on top of the diagnostic panel so that you know that it's a different thing.
Ah. Okay.
I don't know why it moved.
These things are adorable. Did you draw them?
No, they're part of the pro assets. And they are adorable.
You're cute.
They appreciate your compliment.
That's nice.
One of them.
Yep.
Felt left to right?
Oh yeah.
Well,
what
both
is
sets of
my-
stairs lead to the same sets of stairs downstairs, so.
Okay, so they can meet up. Right. Well, we'll just get downstairs then.
Fair enough. I'm gonna follow the one that flies there.
Well, one is already following you, so.
Oh. Hello.
Bzz, bzz, bzz.
I hope they don't mind the dead guy over there.
They don't seem to mind.
Okay.
Wow. How is Rogo in the center of this thing and I have to like squeeze by?
You can press Alt.
Oh, that's good. Fair. Thank you.
And if you press Alt, it on the stick to the grid.
Yes.
So appear at the south stairs on the next section.
Yes. Click. Zoom out. Oh, that's too much. So I guess we show up somewhere here.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Spiders.
These look friendly. They're also much smaller. They seem to be maintenance
Oh.
devices. They look similar
They're
to the ones
still-
you saw back at Madala.
Huh. Okay, fair enough. Do they still display the error message on the scanners? If they scan us?
Yeah.
It's interesting, there's the third set of stairs. Where does that lead?
It's a glass door, but you can't tell from here. It just goes into the darkness.
Okay. Oh yeah, these circular things were lamps, right?
Yes, so there's,
Yes.
there's a bunch of lamps. So what you see in
And
front of you is force fields that turn off once you get close to them, and there's some barricades.
Barricades.
Yes. And the final barricade has like a... So the first set, these sets, are just like raised covers. These are like full walls with place you can put your gun through, and there's a door in the middle, which is open.
Any presence of, I don't know, dead priests or something? This probably was stormed.
Nope.
Or, is there any sign of battle?
If there was, they cleaned up pretty well. How about you roll me a difficulty 7 check for this one? Intellect.
Intellect difficulty 7, fair enough. I'm going to use my pool again. I'm down to 4 points in int.
Uh,
And it's going to
Is
be
that-
difficulty 6.
is that for me too?
You can do it as
Right,
well
wow.
if you want to investigate.
Wow.
You know,
So, any of my skills applicable?
I'll say that your Numenera helps here,
Alright.
since you're familiar with what this place is supposed to look like, ish.
Alright. Why?
Well, since you both flunked it, that's no problem. Jesus, Como, you are rolling ones off the wazoo.
I'm sorry.
I
I don't mean to.
constant flow of.
So, you go into the next room over, I assume. Or you're going to stick out here and look at the nice force field generators.
Yeah, moving in.
Yep.
Hello.
Oh, did my scanner thing reveal anything interesting about this room?
This room is filled with power sources. It is a room just filled with large server racks and smaller server racks and maintenance panels off to the sides. There's a central column connecting to a strange machine that hangs from it, and a diagnostics panel in front of it with the same device as before. Although this one has like a little remote button on top. You can it's a remote control on top. You can take off and just push the button, and it does things.
Okay.
Most likely missing from Adela.
Okay. I'll try to fiddle around with it then. Try to figure out it.
So we've technically found a remote for this stuff.
So, as you perform the same actions you did at Medela, you do indeed get the same diagnostic information. It tells you that gravity's kind of fucked up.
Uh-huh.
But as you do so, the diagnostics panel changes, and a question is asked of who you are.
Okay. Did we catch the name of the priest?
You mean Zen?
The one that hired us, yes. Because I didn't write it down, because I'm a dumbass. Or at least their rank. This thing will probably recognize the rank.
Yeah. Who's our employer?
Your employer is Zen.
So, with an X?
Yes.
Is there any mention of their actual rank? in the church?
They're not a high priest. They're just a priest. They sit at a relatively respected rank.
Okay, fair enough. I would like to mention to the machine that we were sent here by the priest named Zen to investigate the maintenance issues and why this particular island is sinking.
We are troubleshooters.
Okay, the machine answers twofold. The first thing it answers with is that it has heard the name Zen, but does not recognize it. The second thing it answers with is that there are gravitational problems due to a misplacement of one of the gravity generators.
Okay.
Misplacement meaning it's missing?
Misplacement meaning that it's still active but in the wrong place.
Okay.
The computer is somewhat sassy with how it talks, by the way.
That is to be expected. I would like to point out to my partner's sphere and say if that would be one of the generators that it is talking about.
Oh yeah.
No. It says that is a very, like a miniature version of the
It's a
generator.
miniature version?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Is it, well, it is a miniature version, but is it something that was taken from the temples, or is it something that was brought from outside?
It tells you that this location is not a temple, but a gravity field generator. Please use the proper terms.
Fair enough. Did this particular artifact come from the gravity field generator, or was it brought from somewhere else?
So from
Is it
the
like a
machine that's
copy
hanging
or
from the
is
crystal, comes in a bit closer, takes a close snapshot, and then goes, could have been a duplicate, a replica.
Right, but
It's not
you
of
don't
importance
have...
for the functioning of this facility.
Okay, fair enough.
Where, which place is is missing a gravity center?
And it prints out a little, you know those little ticket printers, like the receipt printers they have at supermarkets?
CVS
Yeah, one of those.
receipt, yeah.
A little receipt pops out, and it mentions that location E is missing one.
Location E is missing one. Can we compare that to the paper that we found earlier?
What paper?
To the printout that we got in the first temple in Modella.
Well, no, actually,
I think
it's
it
not
says
E, it's a
something
C.
like C.
It mentions C. This one also mentions C.
Okay.
Oh.
So they both say the same thing?
They both say similar things, yes. Although the circumstances look more dire, like the numbers are bigger as to how bad it is.
Okay,
So it's getting worse.
is the gravity center missing as in stolen or broken?
It is not broken. It is operational. It is presumed stolen.
Any clues as to where it might be?
It is just a short distance north of its intended operational location.
Could you point the intended operational location in the relative position to our current position?
It is not programmed to provide that kind of information. It just knows that there's an installation C where it should be.
Are there
And
any hints in its database as to where that installation might be?
Unfortunately, during the time when things started to go bad, several individuals of this facility have performed damage to my databases. I cannot repair them due to the fact that they locked it down quite tightly.
Is it possible that we can assist you in repairs?
Most certainly.
Fair enough. Will you be able to guide us
I can
through
provide
the
you
process?
I can provide you with instructions when necessary, yes.
Fair enough. Could you point us towards the area of repairs?
You hear a click, and the little robot starts to fly towards the back.
Hello. I'm just gonna wave to it.
The machine blinks once.
Cute.
I'll follow the little robot then.
So it goes down into the darkness, because that place goes to a dark place. The machine lets off a tinny noise saying that down there people aren't supposed to go, but they decided to go down there. So there's a section down here. You might be able to see it, where it says start on a little black dot.
Yes.
Oh, yep.
That is where you're going. You're going into an abstract location. Because I didn't want to map
Abstract.
this all out. So, you start off at start.
Yes.
The location you are looking for, like the main database, is over here.
Mhm.
It's not a complicated area, but the robot does tell you that a lot of AI sensor equipment has been damaged and needs repairs.
So it's complete darkness. We just know relatively where the corridors go.
You know relatively what's going on, yes.
Nice. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to go AFK for like 1 minute again. I'll be back real soon.
Okay. Well, I have a glow globe, so that should help with the darkness.
The robot also has like a bullseye lantern-ish device mounted in its eyeball. Because they always do.
Oh.
Beep, beep, boop, beep.
Darkened corridors.
Mhm.
So, just checking that I wrote this correctly. So the gravity center is missing from location C,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
it
Badela was referred to as location north, or N, and this one is referred to as location S.
S meaning south.
Yes.
Okay.
and the missing gravity center is north of location C.
Yes. The generator itself, not the location that the generator is intended to be.
Assuming these things are representing orientation according to the magnetic poles, I would imagine that C is the central.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh.
the way I see it is the relocation from the old epoch is causing all the current problems.
Yeah, that cool.
It used
Yeah,
to be one of the main ones, and we've heard that they've moved something, or at least they've built a new temple.
Well, there was a prophecy that said that they needed to move the temple to prevent the greatest travesty, and they were like, sure, why not? And so they moved the whole town and temple over.
out there.
But that seems to be causing the current problems, however.
Either the prophecy was wrong or they put the thing in the wrong place.
Sure.
They probably lacked the necessary skills to do so
Yeah.
properly. Fair enough. Well, it looks like a very dark maze. So what I would do is use the rule of the left hand to traverse it. Put my hand to the left wall and just move along.
Well, we have lights, so
You enter into a dark room. For first of all was were hallways. Now you're in a dark round room. Around you are databases, in the sense that these are metal sort of, they're books. They're blue glass chunks that look like books with spines made of metal. You can pull them out and then you can see like the topic, and then you can put it back in, and the computer can access it. But it seems that the computer cannot access these records directly. There's some break in the connection.
I see.
like
This is probably related to the problem that was mentioned earlier. It was a deliberate act of sabotage, it appears. Okay, fair enough. Are we still following the little robot?
Yes, the little robot is still with you.
Okay,
It's providing light.
Is it just hanging out? Is it hanging out with us, or is it like leading the way?
It is hanging out with you.
Okay, fair enough. Then I will proceed with my left hand rule, I guess, and keep going. Yep.
So eventually you come up to a place, and there's a big, bulky door. Like, this is a bulkhead. And it mentions, unless there's an emergency, no humans beyond this point at all costs.
Well, technically, I'm not human. Do I count?
Sure.
So, am I able to proceed past that point?
No, the door doesn't care. The door doesn't even open for the robot.
Are there any means of interacting with this door?
There's a panel next to it, which seems to operate it.
okay, I'll try poking poking at the panel.
You poke at the panel a couple of times. A little diagnostics panel pops up and says that there are corruptions behind the door. If you wish to continue, press OK.
Corruptions.
Yes.
Okay.
The doors slowly open, and in front of you is something you'd rather not see. It is a bunch of, well, you know those priest-like characters? They had fancy robes and all, like, you know, they're priestly sorts.
Yes.
Those guys are here, but they seem to be corrupted with strange electronics.
Ooh.
We found the Borg. Crap.
The Borg, but they're significantly stupider and more like cyber zombies.
Okay, fair enough.
They move towards you in, like, very irregular steps, as if they have problems processing their own movement.
Is it possible for us to close the door on them?
Sure. Door closed.
Oh.
Okay. So,
Okay, these things creep me out, but we have another way to investigate, unless everything is infested with this. Oof.
Yeah, let's take a look down here.
Yes.
So, again, you come into another big room with all the databases around you. In this one, you notice that there's still some battle damage around you.
Uh-huh.
Clearly dealt with unusual weapons. Like, there's some matter reorganization, there's laser blasts, there's some crossbow bolts shattered on the ground. You actually find, like, 3 bolts that are still in good shape.
Oh, I'll add them to my quiver.
They're nasty. They're nasty, though. They got, like, a bodkin shape. They ignore 2 points of armor.
Oh, cool.
There's another door in front of you, mentioning corruptions beyond this area.
Oh, heck. This whole place is infested.
To be fair,
Okay.
this is you found an AI that seems to be like, don't do what that, according to your theory at least, the priests were not on board with, so...
Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like they voluntarily did this, so...
Okay. Again, I press OK, open the door, and
There's some of those weird cyber zombies, but less of them than the other one.
Okay, that's fair enough. How would we go about battling them? Does Rogo know anything about this kind of creature?
yeah.
Difficulty
Then I
6
can-
Numenera knowledge, because you're postulating here.
Alright, 604.
Yes.
You can take a GM intrusion if you want.
I'll take it.
Both of you get an experience point. The only thing you can postulate is you can just shoot these things. Let's just blast our way forward.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Shoot
Check,
ahead.
check. Yes.
I mean,
I hope I have enough bullets for everything.
like they are aggressive towards you. Don't make any misassumptions here. They are your average brain zombies.
Not making any. Roll for initiative, right?
Not really. These things are so slow you can easily speed up beyond them.
Okay, in that case, I will spend as many bullets as I need, and I back away slowly to keep distance. Like at the distance at which I can comfortably shoot them.
So here's how this is going to work. Because these are very easily destroyed, like if you shoot them with a shotgun, they're blast away. You're not going to miss them. They're super slow. What you are rolling for, however, is how many you destroy with every one of your shots.
Well, technically, I'm firing like clouds of shrapnel.
So there's like 12 of them. If you go in for melee, you have to spend a speed point for every 2 that you take down. Otherwise, you're basically safe. And you roll 1d4 for every shotgun blast you unleash to see how many you get rid of.
Okay, so R, 1d4, click. So that would be 1 shell, click.
2, vanish into a thin mist. You notice that their cybernetic mutations are very irregular.
Irregular meaning they don't match on each other?
No, they don't match with each other, and some of them are like more have strange skeletal features, like they've half decayed, and others look perfectly fine and preserved. Rogo, you can make your turn.
That is interesting.
Okay, well, I'll stay behind Como and shoot them with my crossbow.
Fling! You shoot one in the head, and it falls still. I'm going to need some speed defense 3 from the both of you, as strange energy weapons are fired at you.
Fair enough. Use 1 point of speed
Ooh.
effort. So speed defense 3, right?
What happens on a 1 on defense?
Well, it's a free GM intrusion, so up to you.
Okay, your force field does not work for an hour,
Ooh.
as the energy disrupts it completely. Como, however, manages to successfully dodge. You also take 4 damage, Rogo. Your force field still works for this shot, so you only take 2 damage.
Okay.
There are still 9 left.
Holy crap.
There they go.
6 left.
Don't forget, you can spend a speed point to take down 2 if you wish. Or a might point if you're going in for melee.
Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna spend the speed point. I can still rest after this, so it's all good. Spent points, so it's 4 down, which means 5 left.
Mm-hmm. Rogo, what are you going to do?
How many are left?
So Como blasted another 4. It's 5 left.
5. Okay. Well, I'll continue with my crossbow voltage. Can I spend anything on this to kill more?
Yes, like I said, you can spend a speed point to kill another one.
Alright. I'll spend a speed point.
There's only 3 more left. Make me a speed defense 2. There's now less, so the barrage is not as heavy.
Speed defense 2. Yep.
Congratulations.
We
Como,
both
you too.
succeeded. Thank you.
Okay. Well, go ahead and finish it off, because at this point, you're basically going to make it. Yep. Como cleans up nice and good. There's just corpses in front of you. You had to backtrack a bit to keep your distance, but these things don't seem to be a problem as much as they seem to be just a wear and tear on you, which is the biggest advantage zombies have: numbers and the ability to exhaust.
Yes. I would like to check if any of them possessed any energy weapons or.
Can the both of you, by the way, give me an intellect defense 5? As you are somewhat shaken by this.
Crap.
Yes.
Como, for the next 10 minutes, you have an inability to take intelligence, I don't know what it is. Smarts. You can't do smarts as good.
Yes. Actually,
For 10 minutes.
to that, because I'm psychologically shaken by shooting a bunch of zombies.
No, you're psychologically shaken by seeing these weird human-like things. Like, they're uncanny valley levels of human.
Yes.
However, there's no more, by the looks of it. Like, the robot is, like, scanning around, doesn't see anything. It flies over to the databanks and makes some small repairs to some wiring off to the side. And the databanks suddenly light up brightly.
Okay.
Fair enough. We seem to have fixed something, at least in this immediate area. We'll probably have to clean up the other one as well.
Okay, does this continue?
Yes.
Well, the robot, by the way, like, you get the instruction that you don't have to clear everything out if you don't want to.
Well, we feel charitable today, you know. I mean, I might be afraid of these things, but I know that I would like to clean them up at the very least.
So you enter into a room, and you see that this room is kind of neat, because there's there's holograms of the station you're in, like not of the island Oberon, but of just the temple and its faculties. It's very impressive looking.
Isn't it not a temple, but instead a gravity generator?
It is a large gravity generator, yes.
Yes.
Can we get a map of the area?
Beep, 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 beep. Map. You even get the map of an area that's not supposed to be mapped out, which is where the S is.
Interesting.
Very. So the big doors that are in the way, the robot will help you with that.
Okay.
That was just in case you went here before then.
Does the data map indicate any kind of presence of hostiles or anything like
It
that?
doesn't. It indicates like the horde that's still there. It's like here are some weird things I don't know about. You even see yourself on it. It's a pretty accurate map. Like there's an actual wireframe of your body in there.
Wow.
Can I look fat?
You look a little fat, yes.
Oh.
I wave my hand.
And it waves back at you.
Is there any sort of delay there?
Nope.
Yeah.
Welcome to the 9th world.
Yes.
So where does it detect those clumps of hostiles or unknowns?
They're off in the north area, like here and such.
Okay.
If you don't open this door or the other door, you'll be fine. The thing is, the machine explains to you that these portcullis is what those sprites are called, but those areas, it cannot open them without a human, but now that you've opened it, it basically has access to everything. So if you really need it, it will send reinforcements, but otherwise we'll take care of it later when you're gone. It'll just gas the place or something.
I don't think zombies need to breathe, but yeah.
Side? Well,
Place smells musty as all hell.
I could release the clouds of disassembling nanites.
The robot opens the door to the north, so you can proceed to this corridor if you wish.
Thank you.
Yep.
You're not an interesting looking corridor. There's like instructions of south to the mapping station and north to the gravity assessment chamber. But you don't have to worry about that because it is not the actual gravity assessment chamber that's up there. It is mostly like battery stations and such. The robot instructs you. The actual gravity assessment chamber, aka basic operations, is hidden away because you don't want people accessing your most important stuff on a whim. You are now in a small command center, and in that command center, as the map showed you, you find a small passageway leading further north. There's like a fancy chair, there's all kinds of readouts, there's just an endless pile of paper in one of the corners as a printer has been printing forever.
Heck.
Okay.
At least it has at least it has a big supply of ink. It's possible to check the readouts for the past whatever. Does the date indicated on those papers?
Yes,
match
there are
the
like date separations.
Okay, fair enough. Is it possible for us to dig for this and find a place where the, as the priest has indicated, this stuff has started happening?
Yes, it would take you a long time to do so, but you could do it.
Well, we might as well rest a bit.
I say
Yeah,
you
we
can
did
do this
extend
while
a
you're
lot of
taking a
stuff.
rest, because it's not too labor intensive to sort of scroll through paper.
Yeah, so do you think an hour would be enough for this?
It'll be enough to like get the dates and some general information.
What about 10 hours?
If you actually spent like the whole day searching the site, you could probably find the exact information. The robot is helping you out though, so it speeds up a lot faster.
Okay. So, Rogo, you cool with sitting here for a bit?
So do we camp here for the day? That's I hope use.
Well, not necessarily for the day, but like for a little while.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we probably don't need to read everything. We'll just find the proper date, just kind of rip it out, and put it in the box to show to the priests, so they can see it.
Yep. That's fine with me. I could use a rest.
Sure. So 1 hour rest then, so we don't take too long, just to sit for the papers and have a meal maybe.
So you look through the papers and you find that Como, you were a native, right?
To the city?
Yes.
Should I be? I don't think I am because I'm a hired gun basically.
Well, if you're
I'm
not
unfamiliar with this area. Yes.
if you're not native, then you do eventually find like the readout. You can't place the dates, but you do find that it works on a similar solar date, so it takes a little bit of time to really figure out what kind of dating system you're looking at. So around, I forgot actually what the timeline is on this whole thing. I don't think I ever specified.
I think it was like a few months ago.
No, yeah, a few months ago they started noticing things. Like you noticed that a few months ago the readouts started to get very severe. But where is this again? I guess I never made note of this. The actual thing, like the slow problem, started happening around a few decades ago. Like the readouts then were very subtle. Like the impact was not noticeable for decades before it started getting severe enough that someone was like, "Hey, we need to check this out."
Okay. Is it possible for us to... Oh, I don't need to rip it out. I can just take photographs of this. Should be sufficient enough, yes.
Right. So this has been a kind of this problem has been building up for a long while.
Yeah, and you know what they say about problems that have been building up over a long time? Can you really stop the glacier when it's already about to crush the village? It's just something that gets up in your head. Maybe you're just thinking too much about doomsday scenarios. Place is called Ragnarok after all.
Yes. Probably the natives don't really know the proper meaning of this. I mean, we probably don't either.
Hmm.
Hmm.
The robot eventually does urge you, come on, let's get that
Yes.
thing fixed. So I
Okay,
can,
so since we've rested a little bit, how much recovery do we get?
however many you want to spend,
Well, just 1 hour, so I guess 1d6
plus
plus
one.
1, right?
Just
So
click
that
the
would be
button.
4. Oh yeah, click. Here we go. 5 points.
That's a big breather.
So that, yes, that goes back into my speed pool. There we go.
Excellent.
I am still mentally shaking, however, I think. So I'm
Yeah.
not touching that one.
Oh wow, Rocco rolled a pure 7. Damn.
Hmm. Feeling mostly fine again.
He stretched his back. He did a couple of exercises, a little bit of aerobics to get the blood flowing.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Gonna go to the final area.
Yes. Let's
The
try
robot, by
that.
the way, is still doing like minor maintenance, like he's fixing some wiring to connect the AI again, because you can tell that like claw marks are around certain parts as they try to disconnect the robot and AI from this area. Now you're in a very interesting room. There are extensive, just arcane panels, weird dials and knobs. There's hovering holograms. You're in a place where some pretty darn cool shit is happening. You almost feel like gravity itself here is different. Maybe it's just your head playing tricks, but it feels like you're a bit lighter in here.
Hmm.
Well, it would make sense that the gravity gets weaker at the source.
Mm-hmm. And in the center is the very bottom tip of the crystal spire.
Mm-hmm. Just the tip.
Yep. And there's a big, sort of odd crystal flowing pool below it, with a large metal bracket around it with all kinds of buttons on it.
Hmm.
And so the question is to you.
Yes.
What are you gonna do? Gonna ask the machine what to do?
Discern what might be wrong with it.
Yeah.
So as you look at it, you notice that the pool would probably look a lot better, but there's like weird bubbling going on it. It looks almost like a map of the islands themselves, because there's like little dots where the islands are, and you notice that Matthias and Madeline, like there's some freaky shit going on over there.
Hmm.
And Lost Epic is like a big dimple in the water, or the crystal stuff.
Well, that confirms it. They have relocated the generator from Lost Epic ebook. That's what's causing this.
Yep. Sure seems like it.
Okay, I'm gonna take a snapshot of that map, I suppose.
Your camera isn't good enough that you could get a good image of it, but it's more than nothing, I guess.
I suppose, yes.
Because it's like a glowing pool. It's hard to see features without like a really sharp camera.
That is fair enough.
Or
I'll
you can always
probably
take
buy
two
one.
pictures and like put them in one of those in Google
Yeah,
Cardboard.
I could just take. I could put up like a panoramic shot of it and then just kind of combine them.
Sure.
And it's digital.
So as
Anything?
the robot makes some small repairs, you suddenly notice that the gravity's getting all awkward again. You feel heavier than lighter, and the machine tells you that it's making some emergency adjustments to sort of buy you time.
Okay. As long as it doesn't splatter us or against the wall.
Yeah, it's unnerving, but you're fine.
Well, I can probably compensate with my own gravity powers.
Yeah, you're like almost completely unaffected.
What about me?
You feel heavy, like all your scales are going every which way, and you just feel kind of ooh.
Ouch.
It's like having a drug trip without actually being high.
Oh. Ouch.
Can I glean any other kind of clues or information from the panels and holograms? And
But one thing, the both of you do get an
Yes.
experience point for the massive discoveries you've done here so far, and the help you provided to this AI. So there you go.
I'm up to 4 again.
Yep,
Yay.
same.
In that case, I would like to, let's see, increase effort by 1. I'll probably keep this for the very end of it.
I'll move towards perfection by increasing my intelligence edge.
You can now hover for free.
Yeah.
Also, your hover improves slightly.
Oh.
You can now hover up to a long distance because you've learned a lot from the gravity energies around you, how to hover more properly.
I would like to increase my repair to.
So essentially, no, actually, you get the, there's this
Hmm?
little section that says if you have the hover esotery, you get that section for free.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
And what about you, Como?
I'm thinking, what would be the upgraded practice in armor do? Like I'm trained in it. What if I'm specialized?
Well, practice in armor isn't something you get trained in. It's just a thing you have. It's not a skill per se.
Right. Fair enough. In that case, I'd like to increase my repair to specialized. And,
Well,
yes, and it's going to take 1 more point there.
so you'll
There we go.
always repair 2 points of damage. You also have your repair kits on you. Don't forget that.
Yes.
I like you 36 cents of dubious origin.
Say again?
I like how you wrote it down as 36 cents of dubious origin.
Yes, because we can't really use them freely. It's like, where did you get this microprocessor? Oh, I just robbed the temple, one of yours. So,
Where'd you get one of those?
where did you get one? I found it.
Okay, well, I start. I just Uber now. Like everywhere, because I can do it for free and move at my more normal speed.
Yeah, boy. No, I feel kind of sad for Como. Oh, wait, you're shot. Yeah.
Okay, so can I glean any more information from this place? Like,
Oh, it's very difficult to understand anything else. However, I will allow you to make a Numenera check at difficulty 7 to try and figure something out.
okay, 7 with final skill. That's 5.
Intellect, so if you wish to spend edge or effort.
Yep, I'll put one there, so that drops it to 4.
Ah, if only I had experience to reroll. There's some stuff on the monitors that seem to indicate some sort of, like, you saw a map of something, and there's, like, information here about it, but you don't quite know what it says.
That is fair enough. Should I take an image of this so that maybe the priests can discern it?
You don't feel like it's something you'd want to show the priest, like that's anything they can use.
Okay, we might not trust them because,
It's something that,
I mean,
it points to this room in specific.
Okay,
wow, we'll check it out then.
okay. So we done some repairs here, help the AI. Will it maybe provide us with more information now?
So, as the gravity is adjusted, the AI, talking through the little machine, informs you that it has performed emergency adjustments and is free to ask any questions you like because it has access to its full database again.
Okay, so restored the access. All right, fair enough.
No, it restored the
would you
access by just floating around and doing repairs. Like, it was afraid that the machines would get damaged down here.
Okay, fair enough. Do you have any information on what happened to the priests here?
Mm-hmm.
Why are they in the current state?
It doesn't really know. It says that the best thing it can think of is that the priests, started eating the electronics out of hunger. And that caused some strange Numenera corruptions.
Okay, why were they trapped here?
They were tracked by the AI. Like, one of the big problems is it couldn't open those doors. Like, the priest closed the doors so that there would be no AIs in there. And the AI was like, okay, if you're going to close those doors, I'm going to close them from the inside out. So they were trapped in here by their own hubris.
What hubris specifically?
The hubris of thinking that they could lock the doors on the AI. Because the AI cannot open the door, it can't forcefully lock the doors from the outside.
So it technically murdered them and caused them to turn into zombies.
It didn't cause the zombie part, but it did certainly cause their deaths.
Ouch.
It is
Well,
like the AI does, like, to its defense, say, "Listen, I'm programmed for the defense of this installation, and you guys are technically not authorized to be here. So sue me."
yeah, well, I mean, I'm not going to pick a fight with an AI that can seal me and kill me, so it's fine. Ultimately, I don't mind, but you know, I just want to know the reason. What the hell caused them to? Why would they turn on the AI or the installation?
Okay, it pulls up some old records. It takes a second. What happened is, a little while ago, it was like a couple of months ago, Oberon was like, "Hey, listen, shit's going down. Can I make some minor adjustments and you guys won't freak out because you guys always freak out about stupid shit?" And they were like, "Minor adjustments? What are you talking about?" It basically explained the whole situation, and they were like, "A fallen god committing blasphemy to us." And they decided, you know what, if you're not going to adjust shit. And they went, basically, they kind of in a panic, thinking that one of their gods was going to kill them, thought, you know what, we're going to fuck you up. So they kind of brought it on themselves.
Great. That's
Okay, no objections to that. Good on ya. Would have done the same thing in your place. Well, we've seen this little printout. Could you tell us what it is? Showing to the little map thingy.
The little map of the crystal pool?
Well, first of all, the crystal pool, yes, but I was meaning to say what was that? What was here?
It tells you that is a hangar part of the installation containing vehicles meant for travel between the stations.
oh.
Heckies. Well, considering the whole thing is going down, would you allow us the use of one of those?
Considering that you provided assistance and have been much more reasonable than the priest have been, she's like, "Sure, take one of them, but please just fix the problem."
Okay, so the problem is caused by one of the gravity centers being moved.
Yes, that is the best suggestion it has.
Okay. How big are these gravity centers? Like,
Like that pool of crystals you saw is technically part of one of those generators. Its theory is that they haven't moved the complete generator, but moved part of it. Because it's very difficult to remove the whole generator without, like, moving the island.
Right, and because they couldn't understand the... right. So I would also like to inform the AI that one of the islands, one of the smaller temples, was used to crash into Medela. And we would like to know if it has any information on why and how and who could have done this.
So it doesn't have any specific information. It does know that an island has crashed because its gravity sensors are like, yeah, there's something going wrong over there. That's all it really has. It doesn't have, like, specifics on who did it. However, what it can tell you is that whoever did it like a couple of days ago, like before you even arrived there, is when it did it. So
right, so it was set up way before.
Yes, it was a long-term plan, it seems.
Okay, fair enough. Is the Medela currently stable at the very least?
It cannot establish communications with the Medela AI because you never saw any robot like this there. But Medela does seem to be stable, with its internal logic seeming to operate as is necessary for the current situation.
Okay, fair enough. At least the situation is not very dire, I suppose. Okay. Let's see.
Can you give us any kind of more specific location for where the missing gravity center might be?
So, Como, you showed it the map of the crystals, right?
Yes.
So it points at a location, and from the best of your... Roll me intellect 3 to, figure this out.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna spend the last of my intellect points on this. I guess I'm down to 1 point. Oops. And it's gonna be intellect 2. Yes.
So you know that the location it's pointing out is most likely Temple Matthias. Matthias.
Okay. So there was
somewhere deep inside, though. So a quick note is, by the way, is that Matthias, the temple, is like at the bottom side of the island itself. Like the top side of the island is completely separate from the city.
Could you link the map of the whole thing again with the islands? Not here, but in like. Oh well, that's fine. Right. So is it Medela or Madeline?
Madeline, that's where Matthias is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yes, they moved the generator from Lost Epoch, but they did not manage to move the whole thing properly, which is why, yeah, fair enough. Well, it's definitely not 20 feet.
So, okay. And, oh yeah, what was the reason why Lost Epoch is closed?
Lost Epic was closed because it's like hollowed ground, and they're like, listen, we moved the thing out of here, don't go back here.
Yeah.
And they surrounded it by a wall. Okay, from the best of our ability, we can discern that Lost Epoch was due for maintenance or something and relocation of the gravity generator. Is there anything in the records to indicate the actual plan for this?
But what do you say?
Like this clearly the priests have misinterpreted the instructions. Mm-hmm. So, what was supposed to happen with Lost Epoch?
The AI doesn't know anything about a Lost Epoch. It's supposed to have anything change.
Okay, about the center then.
Doesn't know anything. Like, it knows what Lost Epoch is. It's been able to derive that information. It's like, well, whatever that is a human invention. Like, a lot of them said they had a prophecy in a dream or something like that. And it's like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
But obviously nobody's going to listen to the AI, of course.
Yep.
Was Lost Epoch supposed to undergo maintenance or something about the time when they moved the core?
Most likely it was time for Lost... Like, around that time, yes, there was a big maintenance scheduled. So during that time, it was possible that like parts of the gravity generator were like dismantled or removed temporarily, and they moved it then.
Huh.
Right.
So,
okay.
Right. Well, the only suggestion we can give them right now is to move the stuff back to Lost Epoch and not touch anything. Could the AI tell us anything about the Scorn, the last island that we haven't visited technically?
Scorn is mostly a swampy island. Scorn's AI seems to be operating properly, but Scorn's AI is known for being very, very manipulative and may have been able to keep themselves safe in that regard.
Fair enough.
Like, Oberon is sassy and very pragmatic about things. Madeline was more like nice, good-hearted, good-natured, and paid the price for it. Lost Epoch was very silent.
It's interesting that the AI would have personalities, but that's fair. Okay, could we go back to the map and move to the hangar thingy? But we do need to clear out the zombies first.
Or we could wait for the AI to clear up the zombies.
It's whatever you want, really.
How long will it take you to clear out the corrupted priests?
It says faster if you'd help. It gives you an ETA of about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Well, let's help them out.
Right then, let's go blast some zombies then.
The machine also offers you a small additional reward if you do so.
Ah,
Yes.
Oh. That's nice.
Well, that AI knows the path to my heart.
Como, there's a few things we need to talk about in a minute about your character. Like, you missed a couple of details on what your character... You get... I don't know.
Go ahead.
So what you missed is your character gets a bag of light tools and a variety of parts to repair yourself. Those are not mentioned on your character sheet.
Those not mentioned, but those are assumed. That's how I'm able to use the repairs.
Okay. And finally, you already get +1 armor from your enhanced body. Will that stack with your special coat or not? I say it would. But maybe not. I don't know.
Well, it would... Well, I mean, it could stack, but it also could be two different checks.
Whatever. So, moving on. You guys decide to help out?
Yes.
Okay. So you move down into this area where you get into this area.
Mm-hmm.
Over there
Yes.
are a bunch of them. There's like 20 of them.
Oh,
There are some robots on the other side of the room. Like it's opened that door because it's restored its connection and all, and it's had a robot go beep. Those robots will be clearing out as much as they can, but the cyber zombies are not attracted to them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Is it still
How
1d4?
Hmm?
Is it still 1d4 for our shots?
For your shots, yes, because you're using a big shotgun.
Fair enough.
However, I will not allow you to make a double shot. Like, you already are rolling to see if you do more than otherwise possible.
Of course. No objections there. Oof.
So they're scattered out way too far for you to effectively get multiple in one shot. There
Yes.
are now 19 left.
Wait, how many are there?
19.
20 in total. Well, it was 20 in total, yeah.
Okay. I'll use my meta disruption detonation thing.
Okay. Roll me 2d6 to see how much you blast out of the sky.
Mm,
4. Wah, wah. So 4 just... And because they basically implode, explode, another one is also caught in the blast of this weird matter conversion happening. Puts us down to 14. The robots on the other side open fire. You're... And we are now down to 10. Going fast.
Yes. Quick thing. I already had the one armor accounted for on the thingy. Not entirely sure if the light armor was protecting anything.
You have lockpicks.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, we do have an adventuring kit. Yes.
No, you have a specialty, like a kit. You have a bag of light tools which contains...
Yes. All the tools to make repairs, specifically for the...
No, a bag of light tools contains small tongs, pliers, screwdriver, small hammer, small pry bar, lockpicks, 10 meter of string, 3 feet of wire, and miscellaneous screws and nails. Your specialty parts for repairs are a separate item.
Uh-huh. And now we also have the repair kits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that enhanced body, by the way, it does stack with your armor.
So you have 3 armor.
Okay.
The way they are,
Quick.
the terms are kind of separate. If the armor is capitalized, then it adds, but if it's just a non-capitalized armor, then it's like the physical armor, but carrying that proportions.
Okay. Well, they've got 10 more to deal with. They're starting to somewhat overwhelm you. Like, these are having a little bit more zest to their jump. So make me a DC 3 might check to keep them off of you. Or speed check if you wish.
Well, I'm more trained in speed, so I would
You
like
can
to use
consider
one
this
point.
running if you want.
So it would be... What was it again? DC 3?
Yeah.
So it would be from running, -1, and
Mm-hmm.
and I actually succeed.
Does this apply to me?
Yes, you too.
Alright. I also have...
Oh, have you made your attack yet?
Uh,
I guess I got too
I
caught up.
didn't yet. I think.
I got so caught up, sorry.
That's okay. You said the robots attacked, and then
the there was the meta disruption thing, and
Oh, yes, the
now
meta disruption is what you did, yes. So roll
Okay.
your 3. Your difficulty 3 speed might to evade them with running.
Okay, with running it's 80. Yep. Keeping our distance.
Oh, now I see. The color of the dice is determined by your own color. That's neat. That's cute.
yes.
Oh,
That's why yours is green. You manage to keep your distance. You hear the robots stepping ever closer as they need to keep up with these zombie robots coming close. So, Como, do something.
I just did. I shot them, and I got 2. So
2
I'll
more.
do
It's
them.
down to 8. What are you gonna do, Mr. Crosswoman?
continue with crossbowing, and I'll use a point of speed to kill one more.
6 left. I'm going to roll some dice for the robots to see if they can unleash the proper barrage. Okay. The final few fall down as you manage to clear out the area. The room is now silent. There's a smell of gunpowder, the smell of half-rotten bodies. It's nasty. You're not as shocked by this, but you're still like, ugh. Ugh.
Yeah, it's nasty work, but it has to be done. Alright, there was talk of reward.
The computer decides to offer you a first aid kit, because you probably want one of those.
Mm-hmm.
In Como's case, he has a special reward. He's noticed that you are partially made out of metal.
Yes. Hello.
So, hello. So it will give you a reward that you think matches your robotic nature.
Mhm.
So what do you want? You can get a point to any pool you want, like an extra increase to your pool.
I would like an extra increase to my mic pool, please.
It slightly enhances your actuators as a reward for your troubles.
14. Yes.
Because Roko got something. I figured you might get something too. And with this, it also opens the doorway to the hangar, which is mostly empty. Because, the hangar would have been an escape route.
Yes. Probably free of obstructions as much as possible.
The hangar is...
First aid kits, one-use items.
Okay.
That I'm asking.
I think first aid kits are one use, depending on how severe it is. Like, if you're just battling some bandage, I'll say, you still have left. But if you're, like, treating some serious injuries, yes, you're going to need some.
Okay, since we found one first aid kit before, so...
Well, what I would suggest is that what if the medkit is one extra, well, not one extra, several, like, recovery rolls in one. So they're still limited, but you get, like, for example, 2. Right? If you use 2, then it's fully expended. If you only use 1, then it's still, like, half capacity.
Okay.
Would that work?
Sure. It's got 2 charges.
Okay, fair enough. Would the same be considered for the repair kits and such?
I already mentioned how many repair kits you have, as to how many uses you've got. You've got 4 uses.
4 uses. Okay, fair enough. It's just one box with several kits, right? Okay, fair enough. What do we see in the hangar?
The hangar is filled with some pretty exotic-looking crafts. You've got round helicopter things. You've got very sleek-looking planes and crafts. This place is decked out. From the best you can tell, these might be used for longer range travel than Ragnarok itself.
That is fair enough, but is there anything... Well, the helicopters can hover, but the planes would probably need some sort of landing strip.
Okay. Unless they're VTOL.
I would consider looking for something that can hold the most ass out of all of them.
So there is like a very futuristic-looking plane that looks like it has VTOL capabilities. It has some hover thrusters built into its wings, front and back.
Cool. That's fair enough. Is it possible for us to assess what kind of fuel it uses and whether or not we can actually refuel it?
Oh, you're told not to worry about the battery capacity of this thing. And you can recharge it
like?
at any temple anyway. It's got like automated landing inside the temple features.
Okay, that's fair enough.
The only question, of course, you're going to have to ask yourself is, do you think you can bring this to town? That aside, this particular plane has like a nice cockpit, space for 3 people, it only needs 1 pilot, and has some cargo space in the back with some seats.
This is fair enough. Seems reasonable. Probably wouldn't be able to flaunt it.
Nope.
About the city, but, we don't need to notify anyone. A quick question to the AI. Do we need to return this thing? Or can
it
we
will
just take
recall it when the mission has been completed.
Oh, in that case, we can just whatever.
It has no ornaments, by the way.
It's fine. We will make sure not to scratch the paint. That will affect the resale value.
The machine wonders why this is relevant.
It's
It says
a
that in a
pun.
dry robotic voice, like it's mocking you.
I'm gonna mock the same robotic voice and say it is a joke.
Tisk.
Okay, so should we fly back to give a report or fly straight to the place where the stolen gravity core is located, or part of the gravity core?
The machine does feel the need to state something obvious, which is that because Matthias is not an officially sanctioned or constructed temple, it doesn't have a hangar you can automatically land into. This, of course, to you is quite obvious, considering that if Matthias is indeed just a temple they built, they wouldn't build the hangar in it.
Yes.
Well, we could still try to land there.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably sufficient square surface somewhere.
Or you could land right on top of Matthias if you really wanted to, on the island.
Yep. So, what do you think? Should we go report or just get straight to business?
I don't think they know enough, plus there is a good chance that the priests are actually involved in this.
Oh, things are
Considering
escalating, by the way. Like, don't forget that last time you visited, things were kind of picking up. They might be
Yes.
worse now.
First of all, things might be worse now, and we can't really afford to waste time here. Secondly, the priests might be in on this, considering this has all been a very orchestrated feature, and considering the priests have been very,
Yeah,
how to say, they've been objecting to the whole investigation thing.
yeah, there's a power struggle of some kind going on here.
Maybe a cult, or maybe an outside influence. We don't know, but I wouldn't report our findings to them just yet. I would take this thing and investigate the only island that we have left is either Lost Epoch or the Scorn, but Scorn seems to be safe for now, or the sea, which is central. So, yeah.
The sea?
No.
Yes, you did say that the sea is having problems.
Yes, Lost Epoch.
Yeah, sea is central. I.e.
And refers to Lost
Yes,
Epoch.
but central, was this designation transferred from Lost Epoch to Medline?
Temple Matthias is not considered Station C, because it is not an officially sanctioned gravity control station.
Well, here's the decision that might, cost us the whole city. Do we?
Don't forget, by the way, the AI said that they bought you some time by...
Yes, that's fair enough, but we do not know whether or not we can actually address the priests and say, you fucked up.
Xen will most likely be on your side, though, and Xen seems to be gaining some sort of momentum.
So we could head straight to Matthias, guns blazing, retrieve the core and try to haul it back to...
I don't think it's as easy as retrieving a core, but yes.
The AI decides to warn you that if you do decide to move the core, in the situation things are now, you'd probably want to haul ass.
Yes. Fair enough, then. We'll break the speeding rules and everything.
Because, like, when they moved Lost Epoch to Matthias, like the gravity core, that already was a terrible thing to do, and that was when it was stable.
Right. Well, is it possible for us to take the AI with us, or at least a representative of an AI, so it could...
Oh, the little droid is sticking with you.
Does it have like a projector or something to conjure a imposing and scary image?
No, it has a flashlight built in and a little connector so it can hook up to the plane.
Does this thing have any weapons? It's a taxi. It has a parking meter.
What weapons does this little droid have? It has none. It's just a scavenger droid that's been repurposed for this specific situation.
Okay, well, we're going to take the little droid, and it will come with us, and it will...
Be cute.
Probably... Do what?
It will be cute.
Beak me?
Be cute.
Oh, be cute, yes. Please be cute. I'm literally sitting at 1 intelligence. My sanity meter is so low. I could use some cute stuff.
You could use some
It's gonna be-
R&R.
Yes, it's going to be cute robot therapy. So
Maybe you can fly over to the resort island and take a break.
We can't. We can't right now. We can't really do this right now. Or we cannot. Anyway, I would suggest to load up into the plane and haul ass.
Okay, and then we'll do that next time with you guys flying over to Matthias. How does that sound?
Sounds fine.
Yes.
Whew. What a session. Big revelations.
And a cliffhanger.
And a
Yep.
cliffhanger. And the little boy and the little thing. I'm going to end the recording in 3, 2, 1, unless you've got something to say.
We could give the little drone a knife.
I love that idea. He's got a knife! Watch out! He swings it around. Hey, you want to get
Actually,
stabbed?
I was very concerned with actually using a knife to attack things,
Oh.
especially robots. Well, if you remember the HK-47, remember dude stabbed it with a pencil and got zapped.
Yeah. What a way to go.
What a way to go. He shows up in the second game too, by the way.
Which is awesome.
Yes, and he has some memory problems, but the little T-free M4 has been rebuilding him because he got blown to bits. You still have to find some parts, but you can restore him again.
Do you have to do another repair check?
No, you don't need to have a repair check. You just need to find HK parts scattered across the galaxy, or technically, if you go to Nar Shaddaa, you just get all the parts as you progress through the story. By the end of your first planet, you will just get enough.
Okay. Well, that's it for today. Goodbye, everyone on the recording that's listening in.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.